Now, ladies and gentlemen, cases in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Some are very expensive and some are very cheap. There's a whole bunch of different tiers for investing as well as opening. Which ones are the most unboxed every single month? And the biggest and golden question of this video, which is going to be the next case removed in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, how you can prepare for it, and if you have any, should you wait or should you sell them when they get removed? Now, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the most open cases in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Through that, we're going to analyze the current active duty cases inside of CSGO. We're going to be looking at also the dates, the skins inside of it, how often they're opened, and we're going to have a prediction on when these are going to be removed, specifically the newest one as of right now, the clutch case being the oldest case in the active duty drop pool. Will that be the most likely to get removed next? If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you smash that like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you are new, making daily Counter-Strike Global Offensive content as well as a weekly Q&A series with Reddit as well as myself with Mando Monday. Make sure you check those out. Now, before we stop and hop right in the video, ladies and gentlemen, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Skins Monkey.
Hi you, yes you. Would you like to get $5 for free for your first trade? Just use skinsmonkey.com and get your extra skins. See description below to enjoy the special promotion and receive 5% cashback for trading your CSGO skins.
Now, if we take a look at CSGO database, we can take a look at the active duty drop pool cases inside of CSGO. 5 that are out as of right now. You have the Dreams and Nightmares case, which is still $1.15, which is kind of crazy to think about considering this came out in January and it is now going into April in the next few days here. You have the Snakebite case, which came after Broken Fang and pretty much ruined every single investment for that because it had the same gloves as the Broken Fang case, which really sucked. But recently, it has taken off from being a 4 to 7 cent case to now over 16, possibly pushing 20 cents. The Fracture case is becoming pretty expensive and hyped up because it has the Nomad knives in it and specifically the Shattered Web knives in it, and obviously those could get Chroma Finish here very soon into the future. Look at Jesus's video, they look really good. It's a logical thing for them to do, and these knives are becoming more and more loved every single day. You obviously have the Prisma 2 case, which is a predecessor from Prisma 1. I'm not the biggest fan of either of the Prisma cases as an investment. Obviously, if you buy this or the Danger Zone case, for example, it is a very long-term hold, and you would have to buy in either right now or a little while ago, but it was like 4 to 5 cents instead of 7 to 10 cents, which it could be in the next couple days from now. And of course, lastly on this list, the oldest case in this list is the clutch case, and obviously it has the clutch case gloves. The skins in it are all right. They're decent profitability if you open up the case. It's also been one of the most open cases in this month for CSGO, which is pretty interesting, and it went from being recently 12 to 15 cents all the way to 30 cents recently, which is pretty huge, and the quantity in half has pretty much been cut in half on the market due to unboxings and investors in CSGO. So out of the 5 CSGO cases, what do I think is the most likely to get removed in the next upcoming weeks inside of CSGO? And well, this answer actually might surprise people, but I actually think it's going to be the Prisma 2, and here's why. We take a look at the case numbers for these unboxings the past month, specifically February 2022. The clutch case is by far the most unboxed case inside of CS. Profitability wise, it's pretty good. You're getting a decent pair of gloves if you unbox it, as well as they're very profitable because the gloves are so high up in value, as well as there are not many lower tier gloves in that case in general. The skins in it aren't great. You have the M4A4 Neo Noir, which the M4A4 obviously I think would actually higher this case up in value if it was the main rifle on the CT side, but it's not right now. But even then, it's still over $100 factor new if you get it, which is pretty insane. You obviously the Fracture case at 1.1 million, which is kind of crazy, almost at 1.2. Dreams and Nightmares, I'm not even really going to consider because it's obviously pretty new, and there's still 1.5 million unboxed right now, and it's very new. The Snakebite case is obviously at 2.4 million, and the reason for that is people are trying to go for those golds because the Broken Fang case is obviously so expensive right now. And obviously that leads us to the Prisma 2 case at 1.6 million. And between the Prisma 2 and Fracture, I think these two are the most likely to get obviously removed in the next update, and that actually might surprise some people. Out of those two, which are the least unboxed on this list, well, technically the Dreams and Nightmares cases, but it's newer and it just most likely won't get removed in the next upcoming update with a new case inside of CS. Now, the Fracture case and why I think this could get removed specifically is obviously it has those Shattered Web knives. Yeah, there's 52 different knives in this case. There's quite a bit. You have the Nomad knives, you have the Skeleton knives, you have all those bad boys. And obviously, with the more rumors that we're getting every single week and day, and just these concepts that look so good, and with the hype surrounding the Shattered Web knives in CS, I would say it's really logical and really likely for Valve to release a case with Chroma Finishes on those knives. And well, Valve is going to probably most likely typically take the case that's the least unboxed that month, as well as they don't want people to have access to those as easily for a sane price. They want everyone to buy the keys for the newer case inside of CS that will drive that price up and just it will help the economy overall. That's the more logical opinion, but Valve doesn't always like to go by that, and they like to do what they want to do. That's why I think the Prisma 2 at some point in time could get removed as well. It's a battle between the two, and that actually might surprise people quite a bit. And the reason I don't think the clutch case is going to get removed is because people are buying so many keys for it every single month. Obviously, that's not always what Valve bases it off of, but since there was 2.7 million unboxed this month alone, and possibly going into March, obviously, ending March here, there could be over 3 million because there was over 200,000 just removed from the Steam market recently in the past few weeks, and the price has almost doubled in price. So out of those three options we have, even though I think the main two that are going to get removed are either the Fracture or Prisma 2, more so on the Fracture side of things, out of the clutch case, Fracture, and Prisma 2, what do I think is going to happen if either one of those got removed? So the clutch case, right after all, is around 25 to 30 cents right now. If this thing got removed, I could easily see this case going well over 50 cents just for FOMO. And then I think it could steady out, in the mid 30s, high 40s possibly, in the cents, obviously. Because people are always going to want those gloves inside of it. I could see those gloves getting put in another case in the future, but that's not really something Valve likes to do a whole lot, considering it's such a big gap. This came out in 2018. I don't really see them doing it in 2022 or 2023. If the Prisma 2 case got removed, I could see it going past maybe 12 to 13 cents, but there's just so many of them on the market, and that's what people always seem to forget. There's 755,000 of them, probably well over a couple million in people's inventories, plus that for, investment purposes. I think this thing could easily double up in price for FOMO, and then it could be a danger zone situation where it goes from 3 to 12 to 15 cents. It gets removed, goes back down to 7 cents sort of situation. I just don't think that case is really liked overall. These cases are really overhyped in my personal opinion, especially for an investment. Now, the Fracture case on its own right now is going pretty well as well. At 10 cents and 195,000 quantity, this would be a lot better of an investment than the Prisma 2, just alone with the skins inside of it as well. You take a look at them, the Legion of Anubis, the Deagle print stream, which is, I think, coming from the M41S print stream and has that name to it, similar to like an Asimov. It already has that name and backing it. It's just really, really good. People are also going to want that for sticker crafts. And it being 10 cents with the low quantity, I think this thing could easily go to 30 cents if it got removed, but that's just obviously speculation. And this entire video is realistically speculation. So right now, what would I invest in if I was put in the situation to talk about that? Well, one, the clutch case I think is already too expensive for people to really initially invest in. I think you would have had to buy this thing a few weeks ago or even a couple months ago at 14, 15 cents when a lot of people were talking about it, but it wasn't really getting the love it deserved. And at this point in time, I would specifically go with the Fracture case. It might not be the next case that gets removed, but I think it's the most likely to. And with the low quantity and obviously the skins inside of it, as well as the knives that are related to the Shattered Web case, I think this price could go pretty well. And I think this case could be a really good investment for a lot of people, obviously in a very shorter period of time considered, or versus the Prisma 2 case, which the quantity is like 7 times that on the market alone right now. Let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts and opinions on this situation down below in the comment section? Love to hear them. Are you investing into CS right now, or are you kind of taking a hiatus or a break because there's a lot of stuff going on currently in the game? Stay tuned for more videos like this. If you guys like this kind of content, leave it down below. With all that being said, have a good day, guys. This was pretty much all speculation, just my personal opinion on the market. Peace out, guys.